Hey everyone, Pay Trader. I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to add your trades to TraderSync. If you're currently with Cobra trading, it's a very simple process. It's a few extra steps more than doing a broker synchronization, which I'm used to with interactive brokers. With interactive brokers, I simply have to go to my broker synchronization menu here and go back to interactive brokers. And then I have my two accounts right here. I'd simply just have to do a synchronize account refresh on either one. And I can do this every day very quickly. It's very simple. For Cobra, it's a few more extra steps because you have to actually import your trades. So you go to this menu here and you actually upload a file of activity from your broker dealer. So let me show you how to get that file. It's quite simple once you've been through it. So I have already logged in here to my Curvature Securities account. Cobra works with two broker dealers in terms of having your actual account, and that's Wedbush and Curvature. They have multiple lending houses that they borrow securities from for lending out to traders, but as far as your actual accounts, I believe those are the two main broker dealer accounts. So I'm with Curvature. I think the process and steps for Wedbush are going to be very similar, and I think they have those clearly listed on the TraderSync instructions as well. But basically, you would just go to your left menu here and click on Activity, and then you would generate a report of activity at whatever frequency interval you'd like. So I do this at the end of every week, every Friday evening or on the weekends. I go back over the previous week, and I will search from Monday or safer bet Sunday, especially if you do futures trading in early morning hours or late Sunday evening. Just search from Sunday through the end of the week. So however far the menu lets you go. Typically by Friday night, you're able to get all the trades from that day, including the borrow fees and commissions and all the regulatory fees. So you create that search over that previous week, and then to the right, I don't show it here because I have all my account information, but there's a search button. You click on that, and that'll generate a list of activity down here. So basic kind of HTML activity report, and then all you would do is simply click this link, this download activity cloud button, and that pulls up an additional menu with the Excel link. You click on that link, and that will download to your download history. Then you go back to TraderSync, and again, you go to this import trades section. I'm already here. I already have Cobra listed. If it was not pulled up, you would simply search for Cobra trading, add Cobra there, and then simply jump down to this field down here, import from a file, and just select that previous file that you just download activity on. So I just did this yesterday, May 31st. I'm not going to import the trades since I already imported these trades. Don't want to duplicate them. But they would import probably within the matter of 20 seconds or less. You'd have that list added to your dashboard, and you would simply go back here to your dashboard and verify that they've been added. So here is my dashboard. I have listed here all trades across all three brokers. This is my net return year to date. Not super impressive, but I'll show you the equity curve later. It's fairly consistent. This is more of hobby money for me, and I'm basically using TraderSync to give me more clarity into what's working, where I can size up, where I have the best performance metrics, and where I need to reconsider adjustments to strategy or even completely eliminating strategies and focusing on the ones that work best. So this is a list of all trades, 1,074 to be specific through this year. But it's across all three brokers. So I have two brokers at Interactive Brokers and one at Cobra trading with Curvature Securities, their broker dealer. So I'm going to go to focus on just the Cobra account right now. So I go to portfolio and Cobra trading. I have it listed as profit factor here is a little bit better. I'm at 1.85 versus 1.26 overall. That should be a clue that maybe I should focus more on just adding more trading size to my Cobra account. But here I have a list of all trades year to date. This is a newer account. I only have 49 trades, but already it makes up almost a quarter of my profits for this year. So I have overall about 6 strategies I'm focusing on. I'm getting more into general update here for my trading stats and history and strategies. If I go back to all portfolios, what I really love to look at every week is the evaluator. So this is overall performance on every trade. If it shows up here, it typically does performance year to date. I don't know why it's not doing it now, but if I select all these, it should start adding the performance through the whole year. Oh, it has them separated out here now for some reason. Okay, hold on one second. I think I actually want to be in the simulator first. Here we go. So this is a simulator. This is all trades year to date. You can see I had some drawdown here. These were swing trades where I had not a leverage position, but I just kind of got caught in a bunch of long positions at the same time when the market it increased size compared to the previous size when the market went against me all at the same time. And additionally, I had one short position that had early earnings announcement. I typically check for earnings before I hold overnight, but just didn't catch the information. I had a gap way against me, had a big loss on that. So I made some fine tuning to my swing trading strategies so I can avoid that in the future. Particularly, I'm focusing more on just very high market capitalization, high volume setups where I can actually have a stop limit in after hours to protect my position. And the stock typically doesn't do any low volume fake moves because the volume is just so high at that moment based on the size of the market cap and the size of the trading volume. So we'll get too much into that, but this is overall performance year to date. I'm definitely ready to start sizing up soon. I've been making a lot of tweaks and finally getting some little lift off here in the last month. I love to check the calendar view as well. Hang on one second. Actually, before I do that, let me just show you the evaluator then, since I touched on that briefly and then went to the simulator. So here you can break down performance for each individual strategy. This is really useful to kind of see how they're comparing against each other. I think I've made the most profits year to date on my small cap shorting strategy. It's a momentum strategy to the downside. Basically looking for stocks with bad technical long-term charts and deteriorating fundamentals as well. And then often if there's some type of catalyst on the day that might drive it lower, I'm looking for a 1 or 2 day setup to short the position. However, I do not hold these positions overnight just because of the tail risk of a small cap gapping against me. And I do hold some positions short overnight with Cobra, but that is specific to another strategy I'll explain later in another video. And I always have a stop limit in for those with Interactive Brokers. So I have an offsetting position stop limit. So if it does gap up in the early morning session or after hours market, I will actually take an offsetting position to neutralize the position. So I'm still short on Cobra, but I'm long Interactive Brokers and net neutral. And then I just simply close it out next morning when I catch the stop, or when I catch that the trade has been closed out or neutralized. But this is where I made the most money. This isn't my highest profit to loss ratio, but overall fairly consistent. I can start adding some size to this. Opening range breakout has not been consistent, but that's because I haven't really dialed into where the inefficiencies are there until recently. I originally started with a 2-minute breakout. I had a lot of fake outs. Went to a 15-minute breakout right about here. So 2-minute was a lot more volatile. I had some history from 2023 as well. I'm only focused on 2024 with TraderSync. I didn't upload that, but I knew based on previous history as well that the 2-minute breakout was just too volatile. So I moved to 15-minute, but just wasn't that profitable. I was still getting some swings, not the significant down, the drawdowns, but just a lot of sideways to kind of a timid upward movement, and ultimately realized that I wasn't getting a lot of traction. So focus on very specific setups around the opening bell where there's a specific catalyst and specific long-term setup on the charts, where it makes sense to just grab some of the momentum around opening bell and then close out the position once that momentum has kind of died out. And that's how I shifted the focus, and all of a sudden I had some really dramatic, nice trades upward. Hopefully this trend will continue. Again, a little bit of drawdown now, but I think I've dialed in at least a little bit better on how to make the opening range breakout more profitable. So a lot of my trades you can see are focused on the short side. Another one I started more recently, and this one is with my Cobra account, is the small cap or low float nano cap short on overextension. And so, well, rather, I guess more specifically, I could say the backside type of setup. So stocks ran significantly, it's overextended on a daily chart or intraday chart even, and all of a sudden buyers are exhausted. The riggers have given up, sold the positions, made their money, and the stock's kind of run out of energy and is now focused on unwinding, and then I'm basically finding a good entry, low risk entry short to get in that position. Had some drawdown this month with this. This is fully automated with Cobra trading, but finally getting a little bit of upward move again here. I think this is going to work out long term. This is coded through Python, but still very early in the process. I'm only about 6 weeks into this strategy, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm not all short, as I want to mention. So I also recently started a scalp strategy. This is on the long side. And this is actually set up with Capitalize.ai. And it's a platform that's free. They are integrated with Interactive Brokers as well as a lot of FX brokers. I highly recommend them. Again, it's absolutely free to use. And the real benefit is that it's very user-friendly. And for brand new beginners, you can actually get involved in automated trading without having to do coding, because everything is written out in plain English. So you can take a strategy idea, figure out how to put it in words, and then Capitalize AI will turn that into code on their back end. You don't see the code, but you can back test the strategy, do simulated back tests, ensure that it's kind of functioning as you intended, and actually write a whole automated code just simply using words and then referencing the indicators that they have in their database. As well as entry and exit conditions that you might want to add as far as timing or profit percentage loss, gain, all that good stuff. They have a pretty large reference index of variables that you can use. So pretty cool stuff. I'll do another video on Capitalize AI in the future, but got into scalping more recently. Had some issues with the strategy, actually, not the way that I'd written it, but the actual strategy itself that I realized needed adjustment. And once I did that, I quickly started to see positive gains of the upside. I had a drawdown more recently. Just this was kind of in tandem with the overall market pullback. Had a 5% pullback and then went up again. And I actually also increased size right before the drawdown, which is unfortunate. So I'm gonna stick with the current size again until I make new highs and then start to size up again in the scalp long position. But basically, I'm looking for some kind of momentum, typically above high a day. Usually, the way I have it coded is it takes a setup when there's some type of wedge break or intraday pattern breakout, and I figured out a way to do that through Capitalize AI. That's kind of a secret sauce I'm not gonna get into in this video, but it's worked so far and proven profitable, and I'm gonna keep trying to size that one up over time. And then I have a short-term holding period, so intraday anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes, looking for that quick momentum move, and then basically out of the position, and then only trading morning hours and then close of the day session hours. But yeah, I'm hoping for some positive things from that, and then I also do swing trading. This is what I call my box breakout setup, and looking for it's a funny looking performance equity curve, but I'm looking for some type of swing trade setup. And this is probably very similar to what a lot of the swing traders do out there, probably was it Kwalmagi? Forget his name. A lot of professional swing traders who use this, looking for that that type of tight pattern breakout on the daily chart, and looking at the weeklies while making sure the weekly's not overextended, and then looking for some type of momentum move. I have a very similar concept that I've learned and tailorized to my own style over time. It's kind of different than all the different swing trading strategies out there, but it takes all different types of ideas and kind of combines them into my own style and personality. But looking for hold times, an average of 3 days, momentum move breakout on the daily charts. And it had a great performance initially, but then, as I mentioned, you could see that in my full equity curve earlier, I had a bunch of positions go against me simultaneously when I started to size up, and then had one short position just gap up on me somewhere in here, and that was a huge loss as well. And then, interestingly, I tried to shift my focus to only trading during intraday hours. So I was looking at trading the same type of setups just on the second day, and that was basically this period from all the way to this period here to trade 121, and it was basically just a lot of sideways movement. And what I realized is that the market has a tendency for buyers to come in overnight, and I think a lot of people have seen this phenomenon, especially over the last handful of years. You can see in the S&P index, there's a lot of history of the indices gapping up overnight. And so the same thing happens with individual stocks overnight. And so what would happen is I get a gap up, and that was already part of the big move into this swing move. And so trying to capture the intraday movement was not really that profitable, even if I tried to pinpoint an entry, because it would still sometimes reverse from that momentum move intraday. So then more recently, I've shifted to more focus again on swing trading, but focusing more on high capitalization, high volume stocks where the volume is likely to, the momentum is likely to continue based on volume. And then just based on volume and the high capitalization of the stock, the high trading volume, I am able to put in stop limit orders, good till cancel extended with interactive brokers. So I always have a stop loss, and I won't get fake out hits, low volume fake out hits because it's such a high volume stock. And actually, I think actually that period started right at this trough right here. So I have a good start to back to this original style, but focusing only on the very high volume stocks. So that's that. So I think that's probably enough for this video. I'll go into more detail later. I didn't get into the Momo strategy or my SPY and QQQ bots. Those are making some money as well. But definitely want to get into size up on some positions or strategies rather this year. And I hope to have a bigger update later this year. Again, this is kind of fun money for me. This is not my day job. I'm in medical sales. This is something I dream of doing full time, but it's still going to be a process. I'm getting there and just trying to do it carefully and strategically, make sure I can hit my goals with high confidence. So that's it. Thanks for listening. This is more information than just Cobra trading, but hopefully the beginning of the video is helpful for most of you. And thank you for everybody else that tuned in until the end of the video. Happy trading.